Hello everyone and welcome to the Joy of Learning contests. I'm Madhur Singh from the Khushwant Singh Literary Festival and I welcome all of you today. The festival has been associated with young people ever since its inception in 2012. As we all know, Khushwant Singh was a mentor to young people, to numerous young people, especially artists and journalists. We'll be conducting 3 contests this time. The Joy of Words, which is a spelling contest, the Joy of Quizzing, which is self-explanatory, and the Joy of Change for the Kodaikanal Gandhi Prize. I request all participants to keep their cameras on at all times. If your camera is found to be off, you may be disqualified, and the moderator's decision will be final in this regard. I now request my friend and colleague Parneet to conduct the Joy of Words. Parneet is a counseling psychologist and she loves reading, spelling, and all things associated with words. Over to you, Parneet.
Good evening to all the young literary bees gathered here. A quick, briefing before we start the quiz. As I've mentioned, we will play it on the quizzes platform. I will be sharing the link and the code in chat box in next 1 minute. You will have to play the quiz on that platform and not on the shared screen. We had one participant last year who, for first few questions, they missed out and they kept clicking on the screen. And in case if you have any doubt, quietly raise your hand, but without disturbing the other participants. The timer for all questions vary. Some of them are 5 seconds, some of them are 10 seconds, and some of them are 20 seconds. Please keep your nerves calm. Please do not panic. You know most of the spellings, you know most of the words. The trick is not only to check and assess your correct spellings, but also how promptly you perform under pressure. Play it in the right spirit. Learn the words and spellings and have all the fun, right? Okay, I'm going to start. Please be alert and cautious and wish you all the very best. There goes your first question. Which of the following is spelled wrongly? Maiden, eclectic, phosphorus, and redundant. Time is up. We move to the next question.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Which out of the following out of the 4: mattress, decommission, sloppiness, or setting? We move to the next question. Which out of the following again has wrong spellings? Possessiveness, keenness, millennium, and barrenness. Time up. We move to the next question. Which out of the following is spelled wrongly? Annotation, shimmering, rebellion, paralleled. Good to see the responses coming in quickly and promptly. Next question. Which out of the following is wrongly? Karaoke, mindfulness, grasshopper, or chlorophyll? Moving to the next question. Which out of the following now has correct spellings? Hippopotamus, eccentricity, marshmallows, embarrassment. Favorite food joints, a popular multinational fast casual chain that specializes in peri-peri style chicken. Give me the correct spellings for Nando's. Option B was right. Pretty easy one. What's coming ahead? Our favorite fast food company. How do we correctly spell McDonald's? The bar should have been a little higher for the correct answers. Okay, espresso-based coffee drink prepared with steamed milk foam. Correct spellings for cappuccino. Option A was the right answer. Indian multinational frozen desserts brand popular for ice creams. Give me the correct spellings for Quality Walls. Option A. We move to the next question. A restaurant which focuses on pizza. How do we spell pizzeria correctly? Good to see most of you getting it right. Our favorite people, a young female education activist and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Give me the correct spellings for Malala Yousafzai. Most of you got it right. Well done. Indian-born CEO of Starbucks, who was appointed a few months ago, Lakshman Narasimhan. Give me the correct spellings. Let me see how many of you got it right. We move to the next question. An Indian weightlifter gold medalist at Commonwealth Games 2022. How do we correctly spell Mirabai Chanu? Well done. An internationally renowned exponent of the bamboo flute, or bansuri as we call it, Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia's correct spellings. "22 of you getting it right, not bad. Okay, a Colombian novelist, short story writer, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. How do we correctly spell him as? Option D was the right answer. An Indian engineer, innovator, and education reformist, Sonam Wangchuk. Give me the correct spellings, please. "19 of you getting it right. Rest of you, keep it up and spruce it up, please. You have to give the correct suffix to type the word. Well done. The correct spellings is disinfestant. You have to type the complete word, please. Not only the suffix, add the complete word. Infotainment, 15 of you getting it right. Be prompt. How do we complete the word subspecialty? With LTY or LITY? It's LTY, not the way it is pronounced. How do we complete the word accelerator? With AR or OR? Better responses. A popular smoked bacon. Is bologna spelled correct? Good to see 24 of you getting it right. Okay. Are the spellings for fuchsia a color correct? Good job. Move to the next question. Are the spellings correct of the word minuscule, which means extremely, extremely small? No, they are not. Is the word curriculum spelled correct? Should be an easy one. Emerald Height participant, your camera is off. Good job. 37 of you getting it right. All right, you have to give me the correct spellings for a popular city in Tamil Nadu. Please type in capitals, please, capital. Turn your caps lock on. Five of you were able to answer it correctly. Good job. Please keep your caps lock on for whatever you need to type. All right. A popular word which your generation will know, unscramble, and give me a word which means fear or worry at the idea of being without your mobile phone or being unable to use it. Unscramble them and type in capital. Correct answer is nomophobia. Well done, two of you have got it right. Okay, latest book by Amitav Ghosh, which argues about the dynamics of climate change. Unscramble the words given here to give me the book's name. Well done, the nutmeg's curse is the right answer. Unscramble and give me the Kerala's capital city's name. Please type in capitals. With correct spellings. Of you getting it right. Well done. All right, this was used by Shashi Tharoor and the word became a rage. And it means a word used on social media posts to avoid another that algorithms may identify as bypass or unsuitable by content moderation. Unscramble and give me the word. The correct answer is Albuspeak. One of you got it right. Seems most of you haven't read Therosaurus. All right, this is an easy one, but with the correct spellings. All right, 10 of you got it right. Out of the following cities, which one is spelled wrongly? I'm afraid it was Vishakhapatnam. Doesn't have H in the third place. All right, which one of the following has correct spellings? Necessary, occasion, narcissistic, accommodate. Twelve of you getting it right. Which one of the following is spelled correctly? Vacuum, accessory, zucchini, spaghetti. Pine Grove School, you have somebody near you? Okay, which out of the following is spelled correctly? Daffodils, hibiscus, chrysanthemum, carnations. A flower with correct spellings. Well done. A word with wrong spellings: bourbon, liaison, phlegm, or hypocrisy. Was expecting better response to this one. All right, this should be an easy one. Unscramble the words and give me a type of an influencer who focuses on money. Type your answers in capital, please. Very easy one. Influence here is the right answer. The answer was pretty much hidden in the word itself. Okay, a parent who regularly uses social media to communicate a lot of detailed information about their child. I give you a clue, the word ends with ENT. Glad to see it right. Well done. This should be an easy one since it applies to as a fan of a particular celebrity. Combines the two and fan. Give me the four-letter word. Let me see how many of you well done. Good to see 24 of you cracking it. All right. Really, really easy, and what we keep talking about in our daily lives, a virtual reality space in which users can enter a generated environment and other users unscramble to give me the word. What space are we talking about? I was hopeful of better response. Metaverse is the correct answer. Please type in capitals, okay? Bad-tempered or irritable as result of hunger. Very, very easy. Eight of you getting the right word. Hungry is the correct answer. All right, a tiny plastic table placed in the middle of pizza box. What do we call it? Give me the right word for this. Box 10, 4 of you getting the right word. All right, the correct spellings are aqueous, option A or B. "25 of you getting it right. All right, which word has correct spellings of Faroe? Option A or option B? Ooh, still 19 of you got it right. All right, which word has the correct spellings of nauseous? Which option? "36 of you getting it right. That was an easy one indeed, but well done. All right, a French croissant of sweet flaky yeast dough eaten for breakfast. Give me the correct spellings of croissant. "24 of you enjoy eating croissant. Well done. All right, also called alligator pear. Pretty easy. Unscramble and give me this fruit's name, which is eaten as both salads and desserts. Hinam, buck up. Avocado is the right answer. We move to the next question. All right, is genealogy spelled correctly? Yes or no? Good to see 29 of you getting it correct. After 5 or 10 minutes, the sugar will start to liquefy and form large chunks. The correct spellings for liquefy are well done. 11 of you. The signs of the forms of life that exist in prehistoric times or geologic periods. Correct spellings of paleontology. Which option is right? We move to the next question. Elon is so ingenious, give me the correct spellings, that he can make the most remarkable sculptures from the most ordinary materials. Good to see 26 correct responses. Applying soothing lotion to painfully dry skin. What are you applying? Emollient as in correct spellings. We don't use our coal seller anymore. He works as a vegetable seller in the evening. Which word fits in where? Well done, 35 correct answers. Pretty easy one. All right, the priest put some holy water on the child's head. The report claimed that the disaster was wholly unavoidable. Most of you should be able to get it right. Good job, 36 correct answers. A transcontinental country, correct spellings for Azerbaijan, at the boundary of Eastern Europe and Western Asia. How do we spell correctly Azerbaijan? Well done. All right, an archipelago of 115 islands. Correct spellings for Seychelles are 22 getting it right. We are inching towards the end. Last few questions. Please, a form of manipulation. This word has been in news for a while now. Unscramble and give me the word. Has been used pretty often in last 1 year and precisely last few months. Let's see. Gaslighting. Well done, 7 of you, for your prompt and correct answer. American comic book superhero created for Marvel Comics. Correct spellings for hockey. $27 of you getting it right there. All right, is assassination spelled correctly? $26 of you getting it right. All right, a mutant who possesses animal keen senses, enhanced physical capabilities, and powerful regenerative ability. Unscramble to give me the correct word for your character. Wolverine. Well done, 14 of you. I could not even finish reading the question. Well done. Spell the word. Look at the flowers in the picture with correct spellings of bougainvillea. In capitals, please. Five of you were able to answer it correctly. We move to the next question. All right. The formation of a word by imitation of a sound of the noise or action. A literary device used in English language. Correct spellings for onomatopoeia. Well done. That's a huge bar for the right answer. Last 6 questions. Keep trying. Moinka was what? And she would never ask her employees to do anything she would not do. The word means wishing to do one's work well and thoroughly. In capitals, please. Correct answer is consigned tears. One answer right. All right, reversing round a corner in one of the maneuvers you're performing in driving test. Correct spellings. Well done, 19 of you. All right, unscramble the word. Things don't go as planned. What are we talking about? In capitals, please. Occasionally. The clue was right there in the picture. Last 4 questions, keep trying. Jamie's personal computer had some of her investment details. All personnel of the ABC organization were required to clear their aptitude test. Which personnel fits in where? 36 of you getting it right. Well done. Put the there they are. We have to and get it right today. Which there fits in where? Well done. I'm sure your English teachers must be happy to see you answering this right. All right. Grandfather has a hoard of old coins, which he likes to brag about to a horde of people. 25 of you got it right. Used by Shashi Tharoor. Last question on the reading day. This word means to read through. The correct spellings of the word pulgate. All right, with this we come to the end of Spell Bee round. I'm going to be off for a while to see the results and see which cameras were turned off. May I now request the host to take over?
Wow, I've thoroughly enjoyed the contest. It's funny how words in common usage can trip us up because we don't really pay attention to the spelling. That was a lot of fun. While Paneet collates the results, let me also tell you that the Joy of Learning contests have gone from just a few schools in and around Kasauli to 1,000 schools and 10,000 students all across Himachal. In fact, the online avatar of these contests is spreading across the country. I now request Paneet to tell us the results. Over to you.
All right. So I have the results with me, and if your teachers or the schools had shared your guidelines with you, we initially had first 3 prizes in place, but I'm happy to share and include that we are considering first 5 positions because the scores are really very close. So we are happy to share and announce the first 5 prizes. And I'm starting with the 5th prize, which goes to Tanmay Arora from DPS RK Puram. Well done, Tanmay. Can we have a round of applause for Tanmay?
Congratulations, Tanmay.
All right. And I hope everybody's camera is off. I will be rushing, because we have the next event lined up. The 4th position goes to Ria from British Coed High School, Patiala. Well done, Ria. The 3rd prize goes to Sanvi Rawat from DPS Vasant Kunj. Well done, Sanvi.
Congratulations, Sanvi.
The 2nd prize goes to Anahita Dubey from DPS Navi Mumbai. The 1st prize, all right, before I, who's confident about winning the 1st prize? Come on, we've all played this game in all good fun and spirit. Anyone who feels confident? Any guesses? Anyone? All right, so without much wait, I'm going to announce the first prize from DPS Greater Noida, Sanvi Pathak. Well done, Sanvi. And the first prize is, of course, a homestay, which the details of which will be shared. And the remaining 4 prizes, of course, will be in different merchandise and books of our festival edition. The prize details and the results will be announced to your respective school principals and heads and your teachers concerned on Monday. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, one, and thank you all.
Thank you.
Hi again, everybody. Are you all ready for the joy of quizzing? The questions for the quiz will be based on 4 themes that were close to Khushwant Singh's heart. Books and literature, of course, conservation and the climate emergency, India's border relations and defense forces, and prominent women in and of India. Over to you, Paneet. Take it away.
Thank you, and good evening to all the participants. All right, so without much delay, we're going to start the quiz, which will be playing on Quizzes, a platform I had already spoken about. You'll have different format of questions, and the timer for questions will also vary. There are few MCQs, few questions which may ask you to write. I'm asking for a word. Few would be, you'll be given the clues in the form of jumbled letters. I may ask you to unscramble and give me the right words. Please keep your cap locks on. Whatever you type should be in capitals. The option will only be acceptable right in the capitals, right? So you can anyways turn on the cap locks right now. Please do not panic. Keep yourselves calm. Enjoy the questions and do not panic. Can we share the link? If any one of you has any questions before we proceed with the raise of hand, I'm happy to take on. Yes, Harshna.
No, ma'am, I had a question, but you cleared it already. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? The link is right there, and the code is 688529. All right. Daisy Rockwell translated the famous novel Red Samadhi. Who was the Indian author for the same? All right, goes the second question. Which out of the following is not a result of climate change? Oceans getting warmer, glaciers retreating, ocean acidification decreasing, extreme events are increasing in frequency. Good to see 16 correct answers coming in. Next question. Monica, please keep your camera on. All right. What percentage of all the global greenhouse gas emissions caused by humans are due to deforestation? All right, 6 guesses worked. We move to the next answer. Indian Army's new uniform was unveiled on the occasion of January 26, January 15, January 30th, or none of these? 16 of you getting it right. Read the questions carefully and please be quick and right. A prominent Indian business journalist, author, and entrepreneur. This lady is the founder of She the People TV, a platform to empower women. Who is she? The answer is Shelley Chopra. Well done, 10 of you who got it right. All right, according to which agreement nations agreed to a legally binding commitment to limit global temperature rise to no more than 2 degrees Celsius by 2030? Pretty easy one. Let's see if... All right, so 21 correct answers. Good going. All right, The Novel Living Mountain is a cautionary tale of how we systematically exploited nature. Name the author, and he's also winner of Jnanpith Award. Very, very popular writer. Please type in capitals. All right, 7 of you got it right with Amitav Ghosh. Well done. All right, in a warming world, which out of the following can spread through much of southeastern US by 2050? Is it swine flu, dengue fever, or malaria? All right, time up. Dengue fever is the right answer. We move to the next question. The Test of My Life is a memoir on the life of which player/athlete? Very, very easy one, and most of you should be able to get it right. Yuvraj Singh, well done. I want to see, and I hope to see, more correct answers. Identify this very, very popular Indian politician and member of parliament. Give me the name with correct spellings. All right, with correct spellings, Mahua Moitra, well done. Forest cover in Maharashtra has been in a car shed area. Sanjay Gandhi Nature Park or RA Forest area. 7 of you getting it right for RA Forest. All right, an Indian cricketer and former captain of the Indian women's national cricket team. The answer is given in the jumbled words. Unjumble and give me the right spellings and the name, of course. Let's see how many of them got Mithali Raj right. 19 of you, well done. We move to the next question. When is Earth Day celebrated? April 1, 21, 22, 25 or 27? All right. 24 of you getting it right. Well done. Keep trying. Don't lose hope. Which is the principal military force of the People's Republic of China? What is it called as? People Liberation Alliance, People's Liberation Army, Public Liberation Alliance, or Public Liberation Army? 15 of you getting it right. All right. Which noted novelist lost sight in one eye and use of one hand as a result of brutal attack in August? A very, very prominent and a tall figure in literary world. Give me the correct spellings, please, in capitals. Salman Rushdie is the right answer. 14 of you getting it right. Well done. Shihan Karuntalika won which award recently for the 7 Moons of Mali Almeida in October 2022, and that was post mid-October. Which prize? That was Booker Prize. Well done. All right, which of the following is not a disputed site between India and China? Is it Doklam, Galwan Valley, Lipulik Pass, or Dipsang Plains? Lipulik is the right answer. All right, who took charge as the Chief of the Army Staff? Incumbent General M.M. Narabne retired from the service. Pretty easy one. Well done. All right, which out of the following has been banned by Government of India? Earbuds with plastic sticks, candy sticks, plastic cutlery, or all of the above? Very, very easy. Well done, 21 of you getting it right and 13 of you coming close to plastic cutlery. A novel which gives a dive into the struggles and aspirations of a humble man on his journey to become a successful entrepreneur, won Booker Prize, and a clue, it was adapted into a movie. Give me the right name in capital letters. The White Tiger. Well done, 7 of you. Alright, which of the Shakespeare's plays features a sorcerer named Prospero? The Tempest, The Merchant of Venice, Hamlet, As You Like It. The correct answer is The Tempest. I'm sure most of you would have read it. Alright, identify this athlete. India's first athletics world championship medal winner. Give me the correct name and with correct spellings in capitals. All right, Anju Bobby George, well done. Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights recounts the tragic romance between which 2 lovers or characters being referred to? Is it Catherine and Sanderson, Jane and Catherine, Jane and Heathcliff, or Catherine and Heathcliff? Getting confused right there, some of you. Alright, which of the following emits more carbon dioxide than humans? Is it automobiles or volcanoes? Well done. Where is the Army Day Parade scheduled to be held in 2023, and the change of venue was announced very recently? Eastern Command, Southern Command, Western Command, or Northern Command? Good to see 12 of you getting it right. Keep trying, keep trying. Out of the following, which is the most heavily impacted country in terms of hectares burnt due to forest fires as a result of climate change? Spain, Australia, France, Portugal. The correct answer is Spain. Alright, in terms of efficiency, the most potent greenhouse gases, CFCs, nitrous oxide, methane, or carbon dioxide. Alright, 16 correct answers, well done. Which one of the following adopted Agenda 21? First Earth Summit, Summit on Sustainable Development, Montreal Protocol or Kyoto Protocol? First Earth Summit. All right, the best-selling book advocates the importance of financial literacy. The word is right there, unscramble. Give me the right name of the book which I'm talking about. A very, very popular book and has been on the best-selling list. In capitals, please. Oh, well done, 11 of you. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Glad to see the number rising for correct answers. All right, identify this young Swedish environmental activist who is known for challenging world leaders to take immediate action for climate crisis. Give me the correct spellings, please, and in the capitals. Greta Thunberg, good to see 19 of you getting it right. All right, United Nations Climate Change Conference 2022 is being held at... It's kicked off this morning if you've been reading news. Egypt is the right answer. Kargil Vijay Divas is celebrated on which date? July 25, August 25, July 28 or July 26? Well done. Move to the next question. The surgical strike in September 2016 was in retaliation for a terrorist attack on a military camp in Kashmir's which district on September 18, in which 19 troops were killed by Pakistan-based militants? I'm sure most of you would be getting it right. Uri is the correct answer. Identify the incorrect statement out of the four. Eutrophication is a natural process seen in fresh water. Greenhouse effect occurs naturally. In the upper part of the atmosphere, ozone causes harm. In tropical areas, most of the forests have been lost. Good to see 13 getting it right and equally getting it wrong. We move to the next question. In a study conducted by Lancet, climate change may increase mortality rate due to excess heat by how many times? The correct answer is 6 times. Well done, 14 correct answers. We move to the next question. The book Kerala, God's Own Country is based on the paintings by M.F. Hussain. The text is written by whom? I can give you a clue. He's a very, very popular MP from Kerala. Well done. I wasn't expecting this. 12 of you getting it right. All right. Who heads India's Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change? Bhupendra Yadav, Prakash Javadekar, Kamal Nath, or none of these? Bhupendra Yadav is the right answer. Smriti Irani hasn't held which office till now? Union Minister for Textiles, Union Minister for HRD, Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Union Minister for Social Justice and Empowerment. Correct answer is D. All right. right, the role of women in the Indian Army began in which year? Well done, 1888. Only one of you has been able to answer it correctly. We move to the next question. In the Harry Potter series, which teacher is trying to steal the sorcerer's stone? Is it Snape, Quirrell, Dumbledore, or McGonagall? Quirrell is the right answer. We move to the next question. Which out of the following is not a book by Yuval Noah Harari? His famous 3 books, and one of them is definitely not by him. A Brief History of Time. Alright, the S-400 air defense missile systems will be delivered to India by which country? Everything has been in the news if you've been following it a little closely. Russia is the right answer. Good to see 26 correct answers coming in for this. Alright, name the author of Unlocking the Universe. The author was an English theoretical physicist and cosmologist. The name is written in the Unscrambled. Give me the right word and the correct spellings. Type it in capitals, please. The clues are given. Stephen Hawking, 14 of you have been able to get it right. Well done. We move to the next question. Name India's first indigenously built aircraft carrier. Name it, you will be able to get it right. Let's see how many of you have been able to crack it. Well done. Vikrant is the right answer.
Ma'am, it's INS Vikrant, not Vikrant.
Yes, so both typed options have been considered correct. Commando Battalion for Resolute Action Cobra, which was breaking news recently, is a commando force of which CAPF? The answer is CRPF, pretty easy one. And 21 of you getting it right. Well done. All right, who's the author of the book 1984? George Orwell is the correct answer. 25 of you getting it right. Well done. All right. Which Indian Armed Force has supplied COVID relief materials to Lakshadweep? Indian Army, Indian Air Force, Indian Navy, or Indian Coast Guard? It was Indian Navy. Don't be disappointed. You have many questions to go. Who wrote the famous line, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever"? Make your English teachers happy. Recall the right poet. All right, John Keats is the right answer and not William Wordsworth. Which of the following are the missions of National Action Plan on Climate Change? 4 options given. You have to give me the right combination. Seven of you getting it right. Well done. All right, Freedom Behind Bars. Mentors from Prison is an inspirational work by a famous Indian activist, and she was India's first woman to join IPS. India's first woman IPS officer. Kiran Bedi, well done, 20 of you getting it right. At which place hotline between India and China has been established in August 2021? Is it Bhutan? Is it Ladakh? Is it Sikkim? Is it Manipur? The answer is Sikkim. Which one of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Pretty easy. Most of you should be able to get it right. Carbon monoxide. Alright, the indigenously developed light combat helicopter was formally inducted into the Indian Air Force at the Jodhpur Air Base in October. What was it named as? Prachand is the right answer and not cheetah. We're talking about light combat helicopter at Jodhpur Air Base. In global warming, the temperature of what increases and what decreases? Which one is the right option? All right, troposphere increases. Well done. We move to the next question. Which French writer won the Nobel Prize in Literature 2022? Unscramble and give me the right name with correct spellings. Shivan, I hope you're not looking at any resource material or helping hand. You will be disqualified.
No, ma'am.
And there's a voice coming in background. The correct answer is Annie Ernaux. We move to the next question. Who became the first Indian woman to fly solo a fighter aircraft? She flew a MiG-21 Bison, an aircraft known for its highest landing and takeoff speed in the world. Whom am I talking about? Avni Chaturvedi, well done. We move to the next question. President's Satraj Medal is awarded to which armed force? Let's see the correct answer. Coast Guard is the right answer. Okay, Seva's founder and women's activist passed away this week. Whom am I talking about? The name has been given in the unscrambled words. Give me the correct spellings and type it in capitals, please. Ella Bhatt, 16 of you getting it right. We move to the next question. An ace mountaineer was among those killed in avalanche in Uttarakhand in October. Who was killed out of the following? Savita Kanswal is the right answer. Alright, INS Visakhapatnam, which has been commissioned, is what? Missile destroyer, aircraft carrier, offshore patrol vessel, or warfare ship? It's a missile destroyer. Alright, SDG, Life Below Water, goal number 14, aims at conserving and sustainably using what? The answer was, the clue was pretty much in the picture, ocean, sea and marine resources. Moving next. All right, the Book of Form and Emptiness won which prize in 2022 by Ruth Ozeki? Women's Prize for Fiction 2022. All right, Miles to Go Before I Sleep is a quotation from the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Name the poet. With the correct spellings in capitals, please. All right, 29. Right, Robert Frost's famous. What is the original name of the author? His pen name Lewis Carroll. Twitch Dodson. Well done. 22 correct answers for this. Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pandey was conferred with the honorary rank of General of which country? Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar. Nepal. Answer. All right. What levels fall under the severe air quality index in India? I'm sure most of you will get it right. NCR region, buck up. It's 301 to 400. Who's the founder and CEO of Nykaa, a popular beauty brand? Falguni Nair, 26 of you getting it right. Zojila Pass connecting India with China is located in which state / UT? Are we talking about Ladakh, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh or West Bengal? We're talking about Ladakh here. Last 3 questions. Important background information and introduction in a novel or a literary figure is called as what? We are talking about exposition here and not plot. The main sequence of the events of the story, what do we call them? We're talking about plot. Well done, 29 of you. That's the last question. The hockey stick graph indicates what? Increase in population, increase in urban areas, increase in sea level, or increase in global temperature? It's increase in global temperature. With this, we finish our joy of quizzing, our quiz contest. I will take some time to tabulate and finalize the results and getting a go-ahead from my IT team about the cameras being off. I still see few faces, blank screens. So whether we'll be considering their scores or not, I invite my host for the evening to take over. Thank you.
That was great. I'm so impressed with the range of knowledge our youngsters have today. I must say I've learned a lot from this quiz and I've noted down a lot of topics that I must go up and research. I now request Paneet to tell us the winners of the quiz. Paneet, over to you.
All right. So I'm here to announce the results, and I simultaneously was also listening to the feedback. So in case if any of your alphabets has gone in the small letter, or if your spellings are not correct for Amitav Ghosh precisely, the answer will not be accepted. And also we are making a change. We had announced first 3 prizes, but we are happy to share that the 4th and 5th position share a very, very close margin. And we are delighted to announce that we will be announcing 5 prizes instead of first 3 positions. I've also learned that one of the team members' the participants' camera was pretty off for a long time. We are not considering the scores. The 5th prize goes to Uday Batra from YPS Patiala. Uday, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, congratulations and well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
The 4th prize goes to Shivan Sareen from GPS RK Puram. Well done, Shivan. And we had considered that there was a noise and there was a helping hand. 3rd prize goes to Harshna Raj from DPS Navi Mumbai. Harshna, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Congratulations. And you also had a winner in Spell Bee in the previous contest. The 2nd prize goes to Abhinav Gupta from DPS Ludhiana. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Or any participant, is their hand being out winning the first prize? I'll be very happy to see at least a hand going up there. Sakshan, I'm very disappointed to say, but I love your confidence. And the first prize goes to Surya Jairaj Nayak from DPS Mathura Road. Well done, all the participants. And I must announce the prize. The first prize stands as the homestay for 2 nights in Kasauli, the details of which will be communicated to your respective schools in this week. Also, the remaining 4 prizes, you will have books Oblique the Festival designed and customized merchandise. And we will also request you for your photographs and get in touch with your teachers in charge. I see Shreya smiling widely up there. You have all the reasons to be happy about. Congratulations to all the participants and thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for participating in this 3rd edition of the Kodaikanal Gandhi Prize, which is being kindly hosted by the Khushwant Singh Literary Festival's Joy of Learning program, ably headed by Dr. Parneet. We are really grateful to the KSLF and the Joy of Learning program for hosting the Kodaikanal Gandhi Prize. This prize was founded 3 years ago in Kodaikanal, hence the name, on the understanding that we in our country had lost much of the political values and movement of Gandhi. And it was ironic to us because this has been a time, in fact, for the past 10 years or more, that the rest of the world has discovered Gandhi. As we know, the famous slogan of President Barack Obama's campaign in the US was "Be the change you want to see," which is a paraphrase, of course, of one of Mahatma Gandhi's most famous quotations. But even more than that, it seemed to us that, in fact, many of the issues that we are facing today are issues that Gandhi faced and actually tackled through a movement. And that seemed something very important to bear in mind. And the first question, of course, that we asked ourselves was, how relevant then are his ideas, his values, his principles, and his ways of mobilizing and resisting to our period contemporaneously, not only in India, but in the rest of the world too. And it was on that basis that this prize was founded. And I have to say, what a joy it has been, I think, to all of us judges, to see that every single one of the 260 plus entries that we received shared his values and his ideals. This was something we had not expected. And to find that so many of the young today do share those values and ideals is a source of great hope for all of us who are concerned about the direction our country is going and the relationships within our region and internationally. Now, having said that, we tried to think about a series of different things. One of course, the first questions that we asked ourselves while reading all of your entries was, how would Gandhi react or respond to what you are saying? Following that, clearly we did want to look at the level of your knowledge and understanding of his work and of his life. And then we wanted to look at the extent to which you wish to communicate with the rest of the world, which is, as you can imagine, one of the most important things is how you communicate to your peers and both those who are older and who are younger, but your society at large. And so I wanted to congratulate not only our 8 finalists, but also all the others for showing us all 3 of these attributes: values, ideals, practice, and the desire to share and care for others in your own society. And I hope very much to see how you develop over the years and to hear from you from time to time, whenever you feel an interest or some relationship to this prize and to each other. Now, having said all of that, we move on to the substance of this round, which is the final round for judging. It's an oral round. It's a new addition to our prize and our judging procedure. May I hand it over to my colleague and co-sponsor of this prize, Indira Chandrasekhar.
Thank you, Radha, and welcome to all 8 of our participants in this final round. I can only second what Radha said, which is how impressive and important it was to read the essays and submissions that you sent in, and also those of all your colleagues and co-participants. Now, this is the final judging round, as Radha said. We'll have 4 judges participate in the assessment: Bernard Imhasli, myself, Radha Kumar, and Ramin Jahan Beglu, in this order. And each judge will ask each of you a question. And each student is allowed 3.5 questions. You'll see a timer on the screen, and the timer allows you 3.5 minutes. And the timer will buzz if you run past your time. So please be concise and sharp and answer the questions to the best of your abilities. Good luck. Know that we are impressed with all of you already, so I'm sure you'll do wonderfully well. So the first judge asking a question is Bernard Imhasli.
That's me, yes?
Yes.
So my question goes to Ashi Uppal.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hi, Ashi.
Hello, sir.
I was very impressed about the way you developed your story, starting with the whole complex of diversity and difference in the context of the various basic rights that we are talking about, and you end your essay by a call to for all citizens to unite under the national flag, as it were,
Yes.
while allowing for diversity and difference of opinions, of expression within. Now, I would like to know, where do you place the state in this context? As we know, Gandhi did not speak much of the state and its role in society. or he was rather skeptical when he did. So what is the role of the state in this? Can it be the arbiter in deciding, for instance, who is right and who is wrong?
Sir, if I'm not wrong, by your question, you mean the government, right? When you talk of the state.
The state, yeah, represented by the government.
So, sir, I feel that the topic which I wrote about, freedom of speech and opinion, and the discretion which we need while exercising that right, it depends less on the state and more on how we citizens as a country, I feel that with each and every privilege that the Constitution offers to us, there comes a duty. The duty to not exploit those rights to a limit that harms the nation as a whole. So the role is less of the government and more of the people to introspect amongst themselves and to recognize on their own and on an interpersonal level that having an opinion is okay, voicing your opinion is okay, and at the same time, we need to be tolerant enough to listen to what the other person is saying, even if we are not in agreement with it, even if it does not align to our own opinions. Mm-hmm. So, yes, I think that would be what I think on it.
Mm-hmm. But can I have some questions following up, or is that enough, Indira? You're muted
Radha?
again.
Yes, I'm sorry. Radha, I think one question at a time. Do you want a follow-up discussion? If we still have a few minutes.
Sorry, Parneet. Yeah.
So we have 2 minutes left for the speaker, Ashi.
All right.
The timer's up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion for all of us, that if there is time left, then follow-up is allowed. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right.
So my question is rather than talking of the unity of the nation and the citizens and the people, as it were, the reality is that the state also plays a role when it comes to freedom of expression, because it's the state who basically has to see that the constitution is implemented. So where do you see the role of the state, of the government?
So I feel that when we talk of freedom of expression and speech, it's a very grayish area. There's no black and white because it's a very delicate line. There's a very small difference between expressing your opinion and exploiting that right to an extent that goes against the third party whom we are talking about. So yes, the government, but again, it all comes down to a personal discretion. Even if any matter of any exploitation of such a right goes to the court, at the end of the day, it all goes down to the personal discretion of even the judge. Right? Because at the end of the day, whatever action the government will take, it will be through the judicial system. So I still reiterate that it all comes down to the fact that how we as people interpret this right, how we as people decide on a personal level that how are we going to use this right in a way that helps us to voice out our ideas, and at the same time how it helps the country as a whole. So yes.
Yes, Radha, you wanted to say?
I wanted a very quick follow-up on that. Do you think that the view that you have expressed is also Gandhi's view? Or would you see a difference between what you have said and what he said about freedom of expression?
Ma'am, I feel that what I think on this matter my thoughts do inspire from what Gandhi said, but I do also agree that there is a certain sense of individuality here. There is a certain sense of personal opinion here. But when I read that line in that question which was given to us, claiming the right of free opinion as we do, we must also extend the same for others. So I think that all those thoughts which I'm sharing right here and what I wrote in the essay do all inspire from there. But yes, I won't deny that there is a certain sense of individuality. There is a certain sense of personal opinion there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashi. Bernard, your next question to your next.
Right. The next question goes to Gunika Berival. That's
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Gunika. Thank you also to you for a very inspiring essay, which is basically in the same context of majoritarianism, minority treatment, and the freedom of expression. So in your para on social media, you talk of freedom of expression being a double-edged sword, allowing for the truth to spread as much as lies. What could Gandhi's advice be to a citizen who upholds the principle of tolerance towards the views of others, but wants to also hold fast to the search for truth, which, as we know, was central to Gandhi's thinking?
Thank you, sir, for your question. I think Gandhi meant that we ourselves as citizens should be true to the laws of the nation, but also to his principles of truth. And so on social media, what we do is we do not think of the consequences because we are hiding behind the screen. We think what we are speaking is right. And if it's hurting someone else's feelings, it does not come back to us. So here it comes within to us that we at first do our research, think between what is right and what is wrong before putting anything out there. I'll take a recent example. There was this one social media influencer, Andrew Tate, who was whose opinions were very radical and hurtful, but the young generation who were not guided correctly were influenced by his opinions that were very degrading. So there comes this thing that we need the guidance to follow the right path from our mentors, from our elders, and within us to choose what is right or what is wrong. And I think Gandhi would say that first we need to introspect within ourselves, think ourselves what is right or what is wrong. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I have no follow-up question.
Does anyone else have a follow-up question? Radha? Yes.
Gunika, maybe you could tell us a little more about how Gandhi saw truth. You've talked about hurting people, but consider a different question that Gandhi, I'm sure, would have considered, which is that sometimes there is a profound truth that needs to be told even when it hurts people, so long as it really is the truth. And there are obviously layers of truth. There is, factual truth, but there is also philosophical or cultural truth. What is the truth for Gandhi that unites people? It's a truth of humanity, isn't it? So if you can expand a little bit on that.
Ma'am, for this question, I'll take the example I've shared in my essay. That is of the founder of the Bombay Shaving Company. He did a simple post urging youth of today's nation to do hard work instead of lazing around, procrastinating, and scrolling through social media. But his followers or the people who read his article took it in the negative way. We say that the मेहनत का फल मीठा होता है. And I think it's correct. If we do hard work, we will gain the right consequences to it. But he received a huge lot of backlash to his comment, saying that he must be a tyrant. His company is slaving away his employees. So here comes the introspection that are we taking his opinion in the correct sense? Are we actually thinking to the different levels of truth, like you said, of what he is trying to bring towards us? Of what he's simply saying that you should do hard work, but everyone took it in the wrong way. That is where I think Gandhi would like us to introspect of what is the correct layer of the, or not just beating around the bush of taking it and taking the wrong way of it, to actually go ahead and stoke it into something that is not there. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. It's I who goes next in the order of judges, and it falls upon me to speak to both of the students whose entries are featured as possibilities for creative writing. Now, both the students shortlisted for creative writing used the prompt around change in their examination of Gandhi. And in one of them, the spirit of Gandhi emerges like a phoenix through the flames. And in another, the strength of meaning behind Gandhi's words are emphasized. So congratulations to both of you on excellent work. My first question goes to Insha Parvez. Insha, you have described a flaming, fraught world where the narrator confronts how seductive violence is as a means of struggle. And into this world, Gandhi brings perspective and the possibility of reining in the violence. Now, one of the pivotal points of the piece is when Gandhi comforts the narrator for getting caught in the violent frenzy of the crowd and tells him, "Gather yourself up, free yourself." So tell us why you believe Gandhi might have reacted thus. Rather than condemning the protagonist, he comforted and led him forward. So.
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. I believe Gandhi would have said something like this because he believed that one can only cause a change in the surrounding, one can only cause change in the world if he himself is free from all the reductive mindset and he himself realizes where he went wrong or whatever he did wrong, which can be harmful to others. So I use the phrase "gather yourself up, free yourself." He doesn't condemn the protagonist because the protagonist comes to believe where he went wrong. As I previously mentioned, that the protagonist realizes that he himself kind of engaged in violence, which he always condemned. He believed in Gandhi's ideals, Gandhi's ethos, which he himself was kind of going against. So right there, in that frenzied, short world, there was a change in him. So I think Gandhi saw that change and he believed that change is what causes betterment in the world. If you yourself realize where you are going wrong and you come to believe and you come to actually accept that you're wrong instead of blaming it on the others or the situation, then only you can actually do something better in the world. Then only you can help change the world or help your others around you to change the world. So in that sense, Gandhi kind of didn't look down upon the person, but actually lifted his spirits up and told him that he's going in the right direction to kind of accept where he went wrong, and therefore he uplifted his spirits.
Thank you. I have a sort of a follow-up question, which is, do you think there are any examples in Gandhi's life where he felt that he had taken the wrong step or made a mistake and corrected himself, either in his personal life or in his political trajectory?
I think during the civil disobedience movement, there was some, basically when the movement started, it turned violent after a time. There were protests, there were actually violent protests seen in the Andhra side, in the Goodham Hills. And after the Chauri Chaura incident, Gandhi saw that there was violence rising, and this movement was not to engage in violence, rather free the Indians from violence that the Britishers were oppressing them. So during the civil disobedience movement, with the rise in violence, Gandhi saw where he went wrong with the ideals of the movement, and he saw that he needed to teach the society to kind of engage in non-violence a little better than he did before, and to incorporate new values into the society so that people don't further carry out violence to express their views. So I believe there he kind of introspected that he went wrong for the for the ideals of the movement, and he took it back because he realized his mistake, and then he launched non-cooperation movement, which was comparatively less violent. And then, yeah, that's my answer.
Thank you. We have a couple of seconds, a follow-up.
Very quickly, Insha, your whole entry was about a protest.
Right.
And I was hoping that you would relate what you said to the fact that you have placed it in the context of a protest.
Right, yeah. So again, as I mentioned before, that protest rose, and I kind of fail to understand which question are you referring to. Are you referring to the follow-up or the one that I answered before?
Both.
All right. So I took it mainly for protest because that's kind of what was happening during the colonialization period too. So for the follow-up, I'd say Gandhiji saw the protest rising, and then as I mentioned in my essay at last, that the narrator, he kind of sits down in the middle of the crowd of protesters, and he kind of just strives for non-violence in ahimsa, and gradually people join him more and more, and the crowd settles down and the violence ceases, and their Gandhi spirit becomes alive again.
Thank you. Thank you, Insha. My next question is to Siddhi Deshmukh. So Siddhi, I appreciated the very personal, familial aspect of your story, how you take Gandhi from the world. There's a lot of noise. How you take Gandhi from the world into the home and into a gender conflict within a family. And I also appreciated how the protagonist unpacked Gandhi's saying about change to fuel her argument. So that was very nicely done. My question is this. Now, Gandhi's views on the empowerment of women called for total emancipation, but at the same time, as regards economic independence, he said that he saw women as supplementing the income of the family. So do you think that Gandhi would accept the need in today's India for women to be not only economically independent, but economically equal to their male counterparts?
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. I hope I'm audible. Thank you so much. My short story was quite personal to me, and I grew up in those conditions along with having financial problems, and this topic was quite personal to me, and I loved adding my own twist to it. So to answer your question, yes, I do feel that Gandhi would appreciate and strive for economic equality for women, mainly because as I had mentioned in my short story, that he wanted to encourage the masses to join the movement, including women. And as I'm studying history, I have an entire section on how women played a part in the movement. And I think it is very important for us to, we can't technically label Gandhi as a feminist because he did not explicitly generate feminism, but he did establish a stepping stone for women to step upon to claim their place in India. So that is what I feel.
Anyone with a follow-up question?
Well, I wanted to put it to you, Siddhi, not in terms of actually the questions that you have been asked or your entry, but for future reference, that after all, people change, right? I mean, when Gandhi was saying what he did about women, it was a different India. and it was a pre-independence India. So we may hope that today he would agree with you more.
Yes, that's a very important point to make. Would anyone else like to ask Siddhi? Yes, Rami, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you very much. Very quickly, I just want to ask a question in relation with Gandhi's assassin, Godse. As you know, in his trial, when they asked him why he assassinated Mahatma Gandhi, he said because Gandhi wanted to feminize India and Hinduism. He wanted to feminize Hinduism and India, and we think that Hinduism and India are masculine, very masculine. So I wanted to have your point of view on that, please.
Women have always been a part of history. They've just been left out of the narrative, including I've read so many Sudhamurti books about the women in mythology and in Hinduism, basically. And I think, as he had stated, to feminize Hinduism, I think it is wrong that he said that, because it is not completely correct. There are still efforts which people are undertaking to feminize Hinduism. But I think gender equality, feminism, it means equality between men and women. So as much as Hinduism is masculine, it is also feminine. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddhi. Good. If no one else has a question, I think we go to the next judge, which is Radha. So.
Yes, thank you, Indira. If you don't mind, I'll read my question because my memory is terrible. I've got very old. My first question is to Mehuli. And by the way, Mehuli, we all loved your entry. We thought it was so thoughtful and so much work went into it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here in your entry, you say, the superiority of the majority over the minority is as undemocratic as the security of privileges of minority communities over the right of the general public. Now, can you explain how or in which ways minority privileges actually impinge on the rights of the general public?
Thank you, ma'am, for your question and your compliment. Actually, while writing the essay, this was a constant, it was like a constant music almost in my ears, that if we say that majoritarianism, which we are witnessing in today's world, is bad, is negative, is detrimental to a healthy democracy, then surely, minoritism, if I may use that word, extending extensive privileges to the minority community is also harmful in a certain way in a democratic society. Because as I understand democracy is based on equality for all. It does not see any distinction. It does not see if you are a majority, if you belong to the minority, if you belong to a certain caste or a certain community. It says that you are equal before and then you are something else. Like, we are Indians first, and then we might be, we might be connected to a gender, a family, a community, a caste, class, etc., etc. So to answer your question, how does extending extensive privileges to the minority harm the majority or like the general public? I would say that if we say that the majority should not comment on certain aspects and the minority can be given a free rein just because they're less in number or just because they differ from us, it goes against Gandhian principles. Because for Gandhi, there was no majority or minority. Like even during the formation of the constitution, there was this difference of opinion between the separate electorates for the Muslim population in India. So using that as an example, I wrote this line in my essay that if had we, in that instant, given a separate electorate to a different religion, which was not mainstream at the time, even though they were more than 40% of our population, it would have been extremely detrimental to the health of a nation, to the health of our unity in terms of a nation as a people. So it's the same way. If we are providing a privilege to one person, we must equally provide the same privilege to another person. We cannot say just because you are small in number, just because you're different, you will get more. And just because you're big or just because you are larger in number, you will get less privileges. That is unfair, in my opinion. But I think that in a democracy, I think we should all be equal. Like, we should not think about who is a majority or who is a minority, even though minorities and majority concepts do exist in a society. And by all means, the minority community should be protected. Otherwise, they will cease to exist. They are also an important aspect of a culture and they should be protected. But it again, like I had emphasized in my essay, that trampling upon someone else's right is not the Gandhian way. Uniting and taking together everybody, working towards the collective good is the Gandhian way. So that is what I had meant.
Okay. Thank you, Mehuli. Radha, if you didn't have another question for Mehuli, would you like to go on to the next student?
My next question is for Anvi, who gave us a multimedia presentation on Gandhi and untouchability, which was extremely elegant, Anvi, to use Bernard's words. You quote Gandhi on untouchability being in conflict with the fundamental precepts of Hinduism. Yeah. Now, Ambedkar argued that Dalits could only free themselves from untouchability by rejecting Hinduism. Looking at the history that you have put in your presentation, which one of them do you think was right?
Well, I'm going to go on this subject. I will go with the Gandhian way. I believe what he meant by that line was that it is also seen, like while I was surfing through the internet, I also found examples where he was publicly speaking that if Hinduism is all about untouchability, then he himself does not accept Hinduism. So I'll reiterate that, and I will say that if Gandhi spoke so much on untouchability and still hand in hand he followed Hinduism, it is because he believed that he had to remove the prejudice that was in the caste people at that time, that if he wanted to speak that Hinduism and the eradication of untouchability could go hand in hand. It is the basis of society. Caste system is something which is inbuilt. It is, I believe that it does not come with Hinduism. That's what I'll say on the subject.
Thank you. Radha, did you have a follow-up?
Well, yeah, okay. Let me push you a little further on the question to you. You've, in your presentation, you make it quite clear that though Gandhi not only said that untouchability should be alien to Hinduism, he also tried to work towards that. However, the facts and figures and so on that you have given show that very little change has happened in our country. Well, I shouldn't say that. There has been great change, but it is a drop in the ocean, unfortunately, of caste prejudice. So taking that point, my question comes back to how successful then have been any efforts to rid Hinduism of untouchability and prejudices such as untouchability. And if they have not been successful, then perhaps a Dalit might be very justified in saying, I'd rather be a Buddhist.
Yeah. So I like to continue with my opinion that I stated that we have just taken a few baby steps, and there is still a very long way to go ahead of us. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Anvi. We move to the next judge, which is Ramin.
Thank you. This is a question for Habisha Singh. Hello, Habisha.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for your essay. I enjoyed very much reading it. In your essay, you refer several times to the Gandhian idea of nationalism. Now, my question is that, would you agree to say that the Gandhian idea of democracy is more centered around civic nationalism rather than ethnic or religious nationalism?
Yes, I would say nationalism for him, the spirit of nationalism is what I would say the spirit of nationalism is what bound all of the citizens together. So it was a thread that bound all of the citizens from diverse groups, right? So the question is, the thing is that he mandated for secularism as well. He wasn't in favor of partition as well, because he wanted all of the diverse groups to stay together, unified. One of the examples that I can give, he wanted civic nationalism was that we can see similar trends of how he chose symbols like salt, which unified all of the masses together, common symbols. So it didn't have any religious aspect to it. It didn't have any regional aspect to it. It was just something that bound people together, a common symbol. So that's what he meant by civic nationalism.
Now, there's a follow-up. Would you agree with me to say that for Gandhi, when he's talking about nationalism, he relates Indian nationalism to the idea of Swaraj, which is self-realization mostly and self-government. So he thinks in terms of sense of belonging, but the sense of belonging which for Indian people has to be arranged and accompanied by their efforts of empowerment and self-realization. Would you agree with that?
So can you repeat?
Repeat the whole thing.
Just the gist of it. Your voice was
The fact that for Gandhi, one of the key notions of Gandhi is Swaraj. Okay, so when we're talking about civic nationalism also, we have to relate it as we were talking about the state also. The key concept which comes up all the time with Gandhi is Swaraj, but Swaraj not only as a home rule, but Swaraj also as self-realization and self-government. So people are learning how to govern themselves. And I think that civic nationalism is also for him, it means that they have to learn how to govern themselves. Would you agree with that?
I think one of the aspects of Swaraj was home rule and learning how to govern ourselves. But when you talk about people governing themselves, one of the major principles that come in is it should be inclusive and it should be tolerant. Because that would lead to whether the progressive arc is just bending towards the past, rife with social divisions and polarization, or it's rising towards the practical idealism and the utopian vision that he had, which was governance, which was tolerant and premised in the constitutive principles, that is harmony, peace, and unity and diversity. Although the constitution wasn't created when he was alive, but a lot of the principles are from his ideology. Is that what you were asking about?
Yes, partly. Is maybe somebody else wants to ask a question, but otherwise I go on. Yes, Bernard.
Bernard, yeah. If you can unmute yourself.
Thank you. Yeah. Just before I put my question, I wanted to just say that there was one little sentence which you put in your essay, which I was impressed with because it's so succinct. Earlier we had to fight to get rights. Now we have to fight to exercise them. I thought that was very nice. But you also quote Justice Chandra Chud, also remarkable in his liberal interpretation of majority and how religion should be kept out of political and constitutional matters. Yet it was the same judge who voted to give the Ayodhya to the majority community, though the justices said that it did belong to the minority. So how do you explain that apparent contradiction?
About the Supreme Judge's decision.
The decision of, I'm sure you're aware of it.
Yeah.
Yes, and the quote which you are bringing about from him.
Well, I wasn't in favor of the decision as well. It was just this quote that came up while I was researching about majoritarian rules and its effects and everything. As far as you're asking me about the stance on the decision, I think it started with the Meerut riots in 1887, I believe, when they were talking about the mosque in Ayodhya and the recent legislation. The problem is that all of these legislative guarantees that are given to the minorities, they fall short when they are against the general interests of the majority. So that is one of the reasons why we need to put a stop to judicial majoritarianism, which was in effect here. Because that leads to limited discussion, limited debates, and less transparency.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, I continue with Swam Jinder.
Hello, sir.
Thank you, Swam, for your essay. I found it interesting. But I just want to bring your attention to what you said in your essay and eventually try to challenge you on that. You say that Mahatma Gandhi was very dear to the Indians who followed everything he said. That's what you write. Now, I think that this relationship was contradicted by several incidents, especially during the struggle for the independence of India. For example, if you remember well, and we also see it in Attenborough's movie, how would you interpret the Chori Chora incident in February 92? Because do you think that Gandhi did the right thing to stop the non-cooperation movement and go on a 5-day fast as penance? As you know, Jawaharlal Nehru and Patel and many others, they didn't want to stop the non-cooperation movement, but Gandhi, as usual, he was a stubborn man and he did what he thought was the best.
So, sir, to summarize, your question is that do I think that Mahatma Gandhi was correct in stopping the non-cooperation movement?
Yes, do you have anything to add?
Okay, so, sir, I think that while there are many people who do believe that if the non-cooperation movement had been allowed to go on, India could have attained independence quite a few years earlier. But I think that what really defined Mahatma Gandhi was how he was determined to stand by his principles. And when his principle was non-violence and to be kind and fair and non-violent, then I think that it is also understandable that he decided to stand by his views and to stop the non-cooperation movement.
Okay, let me challenge you a little bit more on that. As you know, and actually I teach this topic here in India, we distinguish between pragmatic nonviolence and principled nonviolence. And Gandhi is considered as somebody who is more of a principled nonviolent. Do you believe that, I mean, in these incidents that we were talking and Gandhi's stubbornness, do you believe that somehow Mahatma Gandhi sometimes in his strategies, he lacks pragmatism because he's too much into his principles, as you said?
So again, I think this is pragmatic nonviolence and principled nonviolence are two, in Mahatma Gandhi's case, is a conflicting opinion. And I guess both of them are understandable. But you know, if Mahatma Gandhi had maybe decided to continue the non-cooperation movement and to not stop it, we do not know how it would have turned out. We cannot say for sure. This is all speculation. So the way he decided to stand by nonviolence, I think that if he had broken that rule, we wouldn't have looked up to him as we feel inspired by him because he was so steadfast to what he believed in. And when he believed in it, he stood by it. He did it with all his life and with his heart. He followed it. And I think that very majorly contributes to why I admire him so much. And so I think that I actually support Mahatma Gandhi, that it is the principle of non-violence that Mahatma Gandhi has spread. This is something Mahatma Gandhi is known for all over the world. And this is something which has defined India. And had he continued and had he not decided to stop the non-cooperation movement, this principle of non-violence would not be what has defined Mahatma Gandhi. So I think that I agree with Mahatma Gandhi. Like, non-violence is what he is known for, and I really admire his principles of non-violence.
Any other follow-up questions? No. So then this means we've more or less come to the end of our judging round. Now, what we are going to do is going to leave you participants for a few minutes while we convene the judges and then discuss how you've all done. And we'll get back to you to announce the winners in a very short time, hopefully a very short time. Okay, thank you. So we'll probably go off screen, judges, and mute yourselves as well.
सकल लोक मान सहने वंदे सकल लोक मान सहने वंदे निंदा ना करे के नीरे
निंदा ना करे के नीरे काछ काछ मना धन धन चरानी
Ubakare kare doye manhavimananda ane re.
स्वार्थवश आपस में न लड़ते भिड़ते तो अंग्रेजी ताकत कितनी भी बड़ी थी, वो अंग्रेजी ताकत इतने वर्षों तक हमको सताती रही। जब हम में जागृति हो गई, हम समझ गए कि हम हैं तो वो है, हम नहीं है तो वो हो नहीं सकते। तब तो अगर ये अंग्रेजों के लिए
I regard myself as a soldier, though a soldier of peace.
Moi, je me considère comme un soldat, quand même, un soldat de la paix.
I know the value of discipline and truth.
Je sais très bien la valeur de la discipline et de la vérité.
I must ask you to believe me when I say that I have never made a statement of this description, that the masses of India, if it became necessary, would resort to violence.
En attendant, laissez-moi vous dire que je n'ai...
All right, here's everybody. Thank you for your patience. I'm sure you're on tenterhooks. We've had a lot of discussion about your various responses and your submitted pieces, and it's never easy. So we're ready to announce the winners. But first, I would like to congratulate once again all the participants. We've had close to 600 students, I believe, think about Gandhi and his place in today's world, and that's really very significant. I was impressed at how well informed most of you were on the issues that face us, both as citizens of this nation and of the world. And the questions that you raised extended from democracy to the pandemic, to issues of gender, questions of diversity, inclusivity, justice, equality, and more. Furthermore, they referred to current affairs and events that are in the news. So in all ways, your awareness and engagement and responsive reactions were encouraging. It reinforces the idea that Gandhi, both as a thinking person and as an iconic symbol of hope, hold meaning to many of you today. Now, I have been on a few juries, and I have to say, it's not easy when you're presented with so many good entries to choose the finalists and winners from. And there were so many that stood out for originality and depth of approach and for passion. So even among the ones who were not shortlisted, I have to mention that in the context of KSLF, which is partnering the Kodaikanal Gandhi Prize this year, and KSLF takes place in the beautiful army cantonment of Kasauli. And I have to say there was one presentation submission where a student wished to make a career choice to join the army. Then there's one that explores the symmetric nature of individuals and community mirroring the world, one influencing the other and vice versa. There was another which explored what democracy means, beginning with the Greeks. There were some who read and tried to understand Gandhi, and others that used his spirit to examine their sense of the world. And so there were so many wonderful entries, and I think all the judges had their minds sharpened by your submissions. I know you're all dying to know what the final decision of the judges is, but I do have to read out one small excerpt, a small quotation from the 12th major rock edict of the Mauryan Emperor Ashoka that was inscribed in the 3rd century BC. And it was used by the historian and scholar Romila Thapar, who uses it as an opening quotation in her 2004 volume, Somnatha, The Many Voices of History. And I know you're seeing it in reverse, but I'm trying to hold it up anyway. And I'll read, it's very short, so don't be anxious. On each occasion, one should honor the sect of the other, for by doing so, one increases the influence of one's own sect and benefits that of the other, while by doing otherwise, one diminishes the influence of one's own sect and harms the other. Again, whosoever honors his own sect or disparages that of another wholly out of devotion to his own, with a view to showing it in a favorable light, harms his own sect even more seriously. Therefore, concord is to be commended so that men may hear one another's principles and obey them. Good. I thought that was very meaningful to today. And now to the winners. We have many shared prizes. The first prize is shared by Mehuli Goswami and Havisha Singh, and I shall read out your schools as well. Mehuli Goswami from DPS Navi Mumbai and Havisha Singh from DPS Chandigarh. The second prize is shared by Ashi Uppal and Gunika Beriwal. Ashi Uppal from, now tell me which school are you from? Yes, here we are, from DPS Ludhiana, and Gunika Beriwal from DPS Jalandhar, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? I might have got it wrong. And the third prize is shared by Anvi Malpani and Soham Jindal. Anvi Malpani from DPS Noida and Soham Jindal also from DPS Noida. And the creative writing prize is shared again by Siddhi Deshmukh from the Mayo College Girls' School, Ajmer, and Insha Parvez from the Modi School, Lakshmangarh. So thank you, all of you, and congratulations. Really well done. You can see why we had so much discussion. We couldn't choose between all of you. And so well done, all of you, and congratulations. Over to you, Rahul. And before I completely hand over the reins to you, I do want to just say a big thank you to Parneet and to Ashwini. Pari, especially for consolidating all the million essays and putting them all in order for us to be able to evaluate them. It was a really Herculean task, so bravo. And Ashwini for being so patient with us and making all of this tech stuff seem so easy when we never would have managed it on our own. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Indy. I loved that Ashokan edict that you read out. It's so relevant to in what Gandhi also believes in. And so I had not, I might have read it before, but thank you for bringing it to my attention again. Before I thank everybody, I'd just like to mention two things. One is Rishi Sunak, who we all have heard about, who's the first Prime Minister of Britain of Indian origin, only 42 years old, and he's the youngest Prime Minister Britain has had for 200 years. I saw an interview that he gave just the other day. This was before he had become Prime Minister. And he was asked what was the one factor that he felt he had benefited most from to reach this position of, standing as British Prime Minister. And he said one word, education. And he mentioned about his educational background and how he had met his wife-to-be in Stanford University. She was also studying at Stanford University. And that's where they met, and they got engaged and they got married. And his wife's family also, his wife's father, as most of us know, is Narayan Murthy, the founder of Infosys. And her mother is Sudha Murthy. Again, she actually appeared on our KSLitfest once, and she also emphasized the importance that her parents gave to education. So education was so important to all these people. That's one point. The second point I'd like to mention is I was commissioned by the United Nations to do a book on population and which countries had been successful in their family planning programs. I went all over the world, picked up 8 countries, which the UN also agreed, 8 developing countries. And during my research on how they had been so successful in their family planning programs, I found 2 factors that were common to all those countries in which they had been very successful. One was health, and the second was education, especially the education of women. So health and education came foremost. India, unfortunately, when I wrote that book, did not score very well on those parameters, and hence was not family planning success stories. So I just wanted to emphasize education. And that is very much what this contest was all about, really. And first, I'd like to thank Radha Kumar, who has associated herself and her Gandhi Prize, Kodaikanal Gandhi Prize, with the Khushwant Singh Literary Festival. The KSLF is all about books, again, about education. And also Khushwant Singh, my late father, he was very keen on the importance of educating the girl child. So education has been a prime focus of the KSLF. Now, I'd just like to mention, I think it's already been mentioned, that as many as 54 schools participated in this contest. And 600 students took part from all over India, even from Jammu and Kashmir. There was essay contests, multimedia graphs, and poems and all that. I would like to thank the heads of the participating schools, the students, of course, and the organizers, the head of which, the organization which Indy has already mentioned, Praneeth Bhatiwal. Thank you so much, Praneeth, for having done such a great job of organizing this contest. And our tech wizard, Ashwini Kumar, who's the behind-the-scenes man. You don't see him very much, but he's our tech wizard, also for the KSLF as well. Finally, the judges who took part in this. Indira Chandrasekhar, who has been, who gave the closing remarks. Ramin Jahan Beglu, Bernard Imhasli, whose book, which I was reminded is called Goodbye Gandhi. I was at the launch of that book many, many years ago in Bombay. He's from Switzerland, married to an Indian, and I think he was judging this in Bern in Switzerland. So I think that completes, and Radha Kumar, another judge who I've mentioned altogether also. And then I just like to end off by saying how pleased I was that all the finalists who took part were all girls. So that is something which I'd like to end this vote of thanks on that note. I don't know whether Radha wants to make any closing remarks before we end this wonderful contest that she has really organized.
No,
yeah.
Indra, we have to read out the honorable mentions.
Yes,
so I just wanted to first say honorable mentions, and then if you still permit a couple of closing remarks,
please,
I would happily make them.
Yeah.
But, would you like to read that out, or do you want me to quickly read them?
Oh, since you have it, or I could do it, whatever you prefer. I'll just read them out right away. We have, for honorable mentions, we have Raghav Tiwari, I believe also from DPS Noida, if I'm not mistaken. Pranvi Khare from the Neve Academy in Bangalore. Gurpara Singh, who's from, I'm not quite sure where, and Adrija for creative writing from DPS Jalandhar. Excuse me if I've mixed up the schools. Pari will probably get it all right when we make the slide announcement for the final presentation on the 14th. Congratulations to everybody once again. Thank you, Radha.
I'd like to thank everybody, just as everyone has done already before me. But I'd like to also make a couple of comments for our participants and our finalists and our honorable mentions. And that is that I do hope, as you continue in your life, you will think about how you can apply the kinds of things you have said in your entries to the work that you continue to do. And I hope especially that you will remember that this country was made by some of the greatest, most thoughtful and compassionate social movements in the world. And I have always been struck by how sad it is that in your formative years, those movements have become so weak and are under so much threat. So please do remember that when you talk about this nation, it has come from people who have struggled and protested and helped each other and filled in often for the state and for the government. This country has been made by its people, not by its state, not by its government. There is no such thing as one nation. We are many different people who have come together to talk and fight for our independence. And I do very much hope that in whatever you do, you will remember that one element that is so important to all of us. Thank you. Should we say goodbye?
Yes. Thank you, Radha. So we say goodbye. Congratulations, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, the students.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rahul. And of course, thank you, Radha,
yeah,
for including me in
everybody.
And congratulations to all the prize winners.